looking into the internal board of High Isle. I've talked a lot about the Elder Scrolls Online, and the game, the ultimate game that I feel is important to society is High Isle. This game, going over all over into the game, it kind of goes all over the entire world that the Elder Scrolls derives in, which is called Tamriel. And with these little things in real life, when you're looking to buy a a game of your choice, the company actually puts out the what age can actually or should the guideline of like the age of people to where they can look and they can play the game. It's a mature 17 plus. Like if you're under 17, you should not be playing this game or any game that has the numbers and the lettering. Right here, this is the important part for children. This is good learning, because later on, when you're growing up and you're of age, you're gonna look at this and you're gonna probably looking at it right now like what is that ESRB or RSR8 or whatever it is. This game has been completely purchased in its entirety, and it will not play over in the main system that I work on, which is a scary port, and I'm trying to do this right now so the game can be played in the future. The Ready game is not available to play, which it already plays on just about every major system that is available for where it is. On here, as you can see, this is the actual console that actually carries this game that it runs. There's a couple of different other online places, which online for games, it's live broadcasts are needed for the games to be played, which in other parts of looking at like what is needed for things to work is basically traffic and people to look and be able to play these games, because these some of these games are they're part of real life, and they this is an imaginary game, but it's real to some. The how I've envisioned the High All game is through DLCs, through Tamriel, the world of Tamriel in the system, and going with Blackwood, Elsewhere, and Somerset in the imaginary, just right here. If you don't know what you're doing in a real live board, you don't want to mark this up, because this right here, that's like a big no if it's actually live in the system. If you don't know what you're doing, this is like a little boat, and it's like, hey, or possibly a fish or whatever. It's like hey, this is pretty good. Like how are you able to comprehend that this says High Isle? It's because it's being written right now as High Isle. You gotta know how to get this thing out here. This is like a big old sea monster. It's like, how do we get this little sea monster out? How do we erase the little sea monster that's waiting in the water? It's pretty easy with just like by a click of a button and getting these animations running, which the sitting over just like a staff, what they call it, like a staff, like making like a little imaginary staff. Like, oh yeah, slowly thinking back, like, or of Moses like putting up the bronze snake, like, I was like, oh, some people are like, I don't like that snake, and then some other people are like, I do like that snake. I like some hair on that snake, and they're like, oh, that looks like a bunny. I was like, oh, how cute. I was like, okay. So like got a lot of hair on the bunny, the staff bunny or whatever you want to call it. Um, Going on here, like this is actually live. There are some places on the internet where you can actually see this live, but it's not available because of the main the main the main computers cannot see this because it would interrupt the system. Like basically in the live system in High Isle is there's live users, and what you need is you need what's called a contract. Some people don't like contracts, and contracts they're needed. Like sometimes contracts are not needed if it's under the like if the company's under the understanding that a person will like actually pay like in the future, like in on the internet, like basically with companies, like how they look at it, if you're trying to pay and then you pay like most of the bill, they're okay with that because they know that you're trying. And being under a contract, that's a very good thing. Going in here, I don't know if this will actually have read the information. Just going in here, the because if you go over here and click on that button, that's going to erase all of the information right here. Not the information such as the lettering. But if somebody were to go over and they were to like cross out that, it's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I purchased that, and then it's just um this is a good company, and then there's like going over there. What else are you going to do? And it's like a person that's not supposed to be in the system. They'd be like, oh well, I purchased it, and then the people that can go into the system are like, no, you did not purchase the system. And then they're like, oh, what are you doing? And then they're saying, wow, that's getting all erased. And they're like, why is it being erased? The game's not actually being erased, but this is just for this purpose. It's being showed that the things they can be erased, and they can be molded. It's basically like in here, like here, this is like a big old stream if you're looking at it, like with the like of how it's like developing the all of the color has to go in, so the word of the whatever game it is gets sealed up. and this is how the connection is getting sealed up for the game for the it's not necessarily the Elder Scrolls Online High Isle, and it's like in the entirety of what that says, like on the inside. But the just has to basically be sealed up. Oh, don't forget. Oh, like Isle. Oh no, Halloween. Like, how did that? Oh yeah, oh yes, we got a nice little. If you go into the game, you know what this character is. So beautiful. It's not Hake. Hake is a beautiful bard. Um, and this is one of the piranhas or the small pterodactyls that are in the game that are really cute. And so basically this is all just coloring, basic coloring, and what is needed because it's going over here and a big old complex thought of what goes on when things like how this is not even it's not in there, but it is, and being able to read is the important part. The this is just getting ready to play the game, and in order to take the marker, the color marker. What you have to do is you have to know how to be able to erase the marker that you might have. Some people want to have like an eraser where you just erase that, but not in this instance, because if there were just an eraser to erase like this little line here, that wouldn't do any good, because the whole thing has to be the whole thing has to be erased. And so going over here, just like clicking on that button, it's back to normal. And that's the important thing. So going over here is I'm going to check out how this, see, there's an intermittent connection. It's connected. That's all right. So this right here is what's the overlaying connection, which that provides the connection. What this looks like is this is the play button connection for inside of the internal button for the system here. So this goes over here. It's like you're sitting over here. You can go and click on a button, and it will like in your system that you're in. It will click and go to wherever the information is that is stored in the internal board of the outside server. This right here is the real board. Like I was talking before, where it was just black. This is the real board now. This is the imaginary clipboard. Okay? All these things matter. Like these blinking lights. The same thing as this. It clicks in to the outside clipboard of the program. Right here is what sends information over to here to the real board, the real clipboard, or the imaginary clipboard. This is the extension clipboard, or the clipboard extension. There's a 3 parts in the program that is being produced or learned, or whatever you wanna call it. But this right here shows the connection. It's the body. The body of the code. It's so beautiful. Going over here, you gotta. This is what actually when you press on the click button, like the play button. This is the actual thing that clicks in. It's an imaginary. It's lightning quick in the wires. And look in here if there is a connection right here. Is there a connection? There is a connection. Now the question of these connections. Now this is like the play, the play button. But this is also considered the play button. How is there a the inverse connection? Right here, these are the inverse connections, as you can see over in the top left hand side, where it's coming in to the real board, to where, just left alone, the company can actually go in and they can see whatever information that is in the by clicking just by clicking a button. And that's pretty amazing, to where, like, this is the clip, and the clip is connecting over on the other side to where the outside clipboard within the company can be seen, so where the connection is sustains. And so, like, in going further on into the clipboard extension, the lighthouse. This is basically the part of what's called the lighthouse, which I've talked a little bit more about. This is just, these small little tiny fragments mean a whole lot. Over here, going over into a different part of this allows information to be read, and it's for your very own good, of to making sure that, for some odd reason, because the information that from the imaginary clipboard in here, they're looking out for your own best interest by warning you that, since the system that they have previous employees that are leaving the company, they had to go in to the through the imaginary clipboard into the real clipboard, to where the real clipboard transmitted over to the clipboard extension, and the information is available to read. That's good. So it just takes a minute for this to for the clipboard to read the clipboard extension. I don't really have a name yet for the. Just might as well call it the lighthouse, the lighthouse clipboard. They're basically all clipboards in here, and just different names that they'll hopefully stick. And so, like in the lighthouse, the lighthouse going over from before, as you can see, it's not showing now. Just by clicking on that, so when it's clicked, boom. That's like in the imaginary clipboard. That's essentially clicking on whatever information's inside of the imaginary clipboard, and then going over to where the information is able to be read. Going over on the other side, it's like, in theory, when you click on the button on your pointer, going over into the clipboard extension, it will be able to read faster of the information on the clipboard extension. There's tons of information that does not make sense, and most of it doesn't have to be paid. The whole bulk of the message has to be paid. But in the system that I've seen is that it's for free. Now, why would these things be said if they're free, or if they cost money? That is not where that's not something I understand, and nor do I want to understand. There's just parts of the system to where it says there's free things, and a company will always put in something for free if they know that it will work. All this information is important. Of where the information is transmitted, where it's received, and to where it can be sent back out. Going just taking the system, like, if it were November 1st tomorrow. I'm trying to get at, I'm kind of losing thought of what I'm trying to say. If it was November 1st as a proposed date of where High Isle was proposed, along with other games, to go down, that's like pretty frustrating. And where would the information be available to transfer the files over? What it looks like here is that this is a connection for the clipboard extension over to the real clipboard, where the imaginary clipboard cannot read this unless you were to go over and just move over to the imaginary clipboard. It's not connected until there is a connection, which there's a connection, but if you're looking at the malfunction in the system here in this instance is in the clipboard extension, because it's not it's not disturbing the word high or the semicolon. What this is disturbing is the play button. The there's a little line that is disturbing the play button, and that's possibly why they thought that the part of the reason of why they thought that that the um, that the console should go down. This is probably why they thought. Just thinking, because if you look down on the play bar, it that connection is it's not available to play until you go over to places such as like the imaginary clipboard, and you click on one of the lights in their lighthouse. In the imaginary clipboard, the outside company will consider these the lighthouse, and whether it's your lighthouse, like where you're near like the play button bar, or whether you're over in the clipboard extension, you need to be careful about what you do. If you are really a person, which I couldn't even fathom why a person would want to attack or like impersonate you or like steal your information. So what the company has as a form is called self XSS. Right here, they make it very important that you don't want to like enter information that you do not understand. Um, that's kind of an important thing, and it shows that the company actually cares. When you're in an individual console like this, you probably don't have the game in its entirety, like I do, but it's a blessing to watch anyway. And sitting over there, going into just going into the lighthouse just a little bit. It's good to see, like, for preparing to actually play the game, which is a blessing right now that this can be played. With seeing and diagnosing the animations is where I will be getting into in the future, of seeing the animations run in the lighthouse here. It's just in premature form right now, and it's getting worked on, and it will slowly start working in. All these buttons, they do matter a whole lot. As you can see, the readings of the board. There's all sorts of, it's like the old game Pong, of what the waterfall looks like. It sure is beautiful. Every part of the waterfall has all sorts of little things going into into little Pong bars, bouncing back and forth. Bing 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 bing. It's important stuff. Getting pretty close to playing the game, and to actually play the game. It's getting close, and it's gonna be super exciting. whole reason for studying this is to see how the game is actually running, and when it's played, it sure is beautiful. Seeing the game run. You don't want to see a big old diagnostic board while you're playing the game. You want to see the full. You want to see the full game. And with playing the game, you need to have an imaginary clipboard to where this whole screen is filled up with the game, or wherever you're playing over in High Isle. That's good to go.